Today, we're going to delve into one of the darkest chapters of European colonialism, a story of exploitation, greed, and inhumanity that is still haunting us today. Today, we're going to talk about the notorious King Leopold II of Belgium and his brutal rule over the Congo Free State. Now, some of you may think that history can be dry and boring, but the story we're about to unfold is anything but that. This is a story of a king who was driven by his insatiable lust for power and wealth, and who saw an entire nation as nothing more than a resource to be exploited. Under Leopold's rule, the Congo Free State became a hell on earth for the local population. Millions of Congolese people were forced into labor camps and subjected to brutal working conditions, while others were killed or maimed for resisting or failing to meet the king's quotas. The exploitation was so severe that the population of the Congo fell from 20 million to 10 million during Leopold's reign. And yet, this dark chapter in history is still not widely known. Many people have never even heard of King Leopold II, let alone the atrocities he committed in the Congo. But as we'll see today, the legacy of his reign is still felt in the Congo and throughout the world. It is a story that deserves to be told. So, without further ado, let's dive into the horrors of King Leopold's rule over the Congo Free State. Before that, do not forget to like and hit the subscribe button to catch more content like this. To understand the horrors that took place in Congo under King Leopold II, we need to start at the beginning of his reign. In the late 19th century, European powers were on a scramble to colonize Africa, exploiting its resources and people for their own economic gain. King Leopold II of Belgium, a cunning and ambitious ruler, saw this as an opportunity to build his own personal wealth and power. Being a shrewd monarch, he saw the need for Belgium to have a colony like other European powers. He was also a ruthless businessman who saw the potential for enormous wealth to be gained from the exploitation of Africa's natural resources. Here are some key aspects of the suffering endured by the Congolese under King Leopold's rule. Forced labor and slavery. King Leopold's administration exploited the Congo for its vast natural resources, primarily rubber and ivory. The local population was subjected to forced labor, with Congolese men, women, and children being forcibly recruited to work in rubber plantations and mines. They were often subjected to extreme working conditions, physical abuse, and punishments. Many individuals were separated from their families and communities, leading to the disruption of social structures. Mass killings and violence. The regime employed brutal tactics to enforce labor extraction and suppress resistance. Congolese people who failed to meet rubber quotas or resisted forced labor were subjected to severe punishments, including torture, mutilation, and public executions. Villages were raided, and entire communities were subjected to violence and mass killings. Estimates of the death toll during King Leopold's reign range from several hundred thousand to several million. Human rights abuses. The Congolese population faced widespread human rights abuses under King Leopold's rule. Forced labor, killings, and violence were accompanied by other forms of exploitation, such as rape, forced taxation, and the destruction of villages and crops. Many Congolese suffered from diseases, malnutrition, and lack of medical care as a result of the harsh conditions imposed upon them. Economic exploitation. King Leopold treated the Congo as his personal property and focused on maximizing profits for himself and his associates. The Congolese were forced to collect rubber and ivory, which were then exported for significant financial gain. However, little investment was made in local infrastructure, healthcare, or education, perpetuating a cycle of poverty and underdevelopment. Cultural and social disruption. The atrocities committed under King Leopold's rule had lasting effects on Congolese society and culture. Traditional ways of life were disrupted, families were torn apart, and communities were displaced. The systematic violence and oppression created a climate of fear and mistrust, leaving deep scars on the Congolese population that continue to impact them to this day. It is crucial to note that the international outcry against the atrocities committed in the Congo Free State eventually led to the transfer of control to the Belgian government in 1908. However, the legacy of suffering and exploitation endured by the Congolese people during King Leopold's rule remains a painful chapter in their history. We celebrate the Black legacy and the resilience of the African diaspora, as well as the activism and political history of African Americans in their ongoing fight for justice and equality. Our channel also explores the beauty and creativity of Black art, literature, and culture, offering a platform for African voices and perspectives to be heard and appreciated. Kindly subscribe to our channel and do not forget to hit the bell icon for all notifications.